Yep. Inside, I want to kill myself. We are on an 0-7 run over the last 2 days. After tonight, it was just complete bullshit. So that's how I'm going to start off this show. Horrible Sunday, 1-5. I don't even know what to tell you about that. I just don't want to do this anymore. I have never seen anything like this, man. With the slump continuing, 2 straight losses, not a good day at all. 0-4. I just have not had a good season, man. What can this slump that I'm on? The slump continues. I've reached a new peak, actually. I'm going to burn my Bruins hat, man. I don't know what is going on with the Bruins. March 8th, is that what it is? I don't even know. It's March 9th, I think. Who even knows, man? I don't know what day it is anymore. I don't even know what day it is anymore, man. Back with you after the worst day that I could possibly have. Back with you, as I always am. Until I die, at least. 0-2 yesterday, and yesterday did not go well for me. 0-5. The worst month that I've ever had in my 18 years doing this. I don't know what to even tell you about this anymore. Broke the slump yesterday as the slump discontinues. The slump continues. Somebody fucking kill me, please. I don't even know what I should do at this point other than potentially end it all. Hold on. Do we get it? We going now? I think we got it. Yeah. This is ridiculous, man. All right. I apologize for that. I think we're good now. I just lost power, so it cut everything, man. So it turned off my Scarlet here. We're good now, though, I think. What's up, everybody? Toad, back with you. Bettor Off Dead, Wednesday, September 24th. Technical difficulties here. But we've done well, man. We've won 5 of the last 6 days, I think. Nice run after a huge weekend. Continuing to win coming into this week. 2-1 day yesterday. Easy win on the WNBA yesterday, man. The Las Vegas Aces, I mean, that was a really easy blowout win, so that was a nice one. You love those easy wins, man. You got to love that. And then we did have a loss in baseball with the Cincinnati Reds, unfortunately. What can you do? And they have fallen behind the Mets again, I believe. So they're still in that wild card race, but the motivational angle didn't work out there. And then we did get a win on the Kansas City Royals, which it was a good one. I mean, they were winning. They were up 3-0 into like the 6th inning or something. Then they gave up 2 runs, and I'm like, oh, crap. Because the Royals' offense isn't good, but Anaheim's bullpen is even worse than the Royals' offense. So, again, pitching mattering more than hitting, and the Royals bombed Anaheim's bullpen and pushed their lead back to, I think they actually pushed the lead up to 8-2, and then they wound up winning the game 8-4, something like that. So we got that one done too, even the Royals run line. We'll have a bunch of baseball plays today, man. We got a full baseball card. It is the last week of baseball, basically. The races are all heating up, man. And if you prefer one baseball race over another, that makes you a racist, by the way. But I'm going to give out 4 baseball plays. Only one is going to be on a side, and all the rest are total action. And you know me, if you like unders like I do, then you're probably going to like this show. This is going to be an under-heavy show, man. It's all baseball today. We have no WNBA as the teams are shifting venues. Every team gets 2 days off now, I think. So WNBA won't start again until Friday. Tomorrow we have some college football and NFL that we'll talk about then. And Friday, of course, more college football, I'm pretty sure. But today's all baseball, so I know you guys are going to love that. The baseball-heavy shows where I get super autistic. I've never done this before. Like, when I did the show the last 2 years, I didn't go through every single baseball game, but I am now just because I'm autistic and I don't have to work right now. So that's just what I'm doing, man. Well, I probably should be to save my house that I'm probably going to have to sell because I'm dipping into my savings now. It's not good, man. Anyway, Washington at Atlanta. This is the one early game at noon Eastern, basically, 12:15 Eastern for whatever reason. I think this is probably the end of this particular series. Atlanta is hot right now, man. They've won 10 games in a row, even though it doesn't even matter at this point, other than they're kind of saving themselves from total embarrassment, I guess. But you got to think Washington's got to show up here at some point because Atlanta swept them in Washington 4 games in a row. Just 2 series ago. Now Washington's on the verge of getting swept again. Washington came close yesterday, only losing by 1. But looking at the starting pitching matchup, yeah, I mean, maybe you do want to potentially look to fade Atlanta here, which I'll show you in a minute. But it gets a little bit iffy, I would say. Atlanta still has the better bullpen. They're decently rested here. Both bullpens didn't get used a lot yesterday, but you got to give Atlanta the bullpen edge. They do have a hitting edge as well. The starting pitching edge may be in favor of Washington. So I think if you want to play Washington here, it should be a first 5-inning play. Andrew Alvarez is pitching for Washington. He is in his rookie season, even though he's 26. He's pitched pretty well, 2.84 ERA, 1.11 whip. He is bad on the road, though, 6.75 ERA. Although it's such a small sample size, what can you really draw from that? His 2 road games are against the toughest offenses that he faced, Cubs and the Mets. Last time out against the Mets was his worst start. Gave up 4 earned runs in 3 1/3. The defense kind of failed behind him. A couple of unearned runs there. He still had 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, which isn't too bad. So his walk rate has actually started going down over his last 2 starts. So some good signs there. And the one other good thing about him here is that, of course, he's unfamiliar to Atlanta. So these young pitchers, when they haven't been seen before by the opposing hitters, I talk about this all the time, the pitcher can have the advantage early on because the hitters have to try to figure him out. The other good thing, I guess, is that Atlanta's offense is not as good as the Mets or the Cubs. They are better than the 2 teams that Alvarez did well against, though, Miami and Pittsburgh. So he's facing kind of a mid-tier offense here. He may do okay here, though. And he's up against Bryce Elder. And you know I have issues with Bryce Elder. Personal issues. No, he's just not that good, but he has actually been pitching a lot better recently, so it makes him a pretty tough handicap. Because overall, I've never thought he was that good. 5.36 ERA this year, 1.42 whip. He's worse at home significantly, 6.81 ERA at home. That's not good, but then over his last 6 outings, he's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 5 of the 6 games. Only had 1 bad start, but it was at home against Houston. But other than that, he's pitching really well. 2.92 ERA this month and a 25-4 strikeout walk ratio. So he is indeed in good form right now. But his numbers are not good against Washington. In 44 at bats, 7-2 strikeout walk ratio is pretty good, but 318 batting average allowed, 802 OPS. That's not good. So Washington has been able to hit him pretty well in the past. So very difficult to handicap this game. The money line dropped on Atlanta from -192 to -178. Oddsmakers telling you they're the significantly better team, which is true. 63% of tickets, 78% of the cash on Atlanta. So they're getting a little bit of the cash percentage. I mean, I would still probably just have a slight lean to Washington in the first 5 innings. I think there might be some motivation there at this point just to not lose 6 games in a row to Atlanta. And I think Alvarez, just being an unknown and overall having better numbers, sort of. I know it's a small sample size, but possibly he's able to outpitch Elder in the early parts of this game. But I want nothing to do with Washington's bullpen, so that's kind of the issue there. Money is coming in on the over in this game as well, up from 9 to 9, juice to the over. 52% of tickets on the over, 55% of the cash on the over. I mean, factoring in Washington's bullpen, the fact that I still don't think Elder is that good, and he's not good against Washington. You could maybe take a look at the over. The most difficult part of this handicap really is, I think it's Elder. Like, overall, he's not good. He's not good against Washington, but he's in good form right now. And I think the form that the pitcher is in right now does matter quite a bit. So it's a difficult handicap. Stacks, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. So I will skip the game, obviously. Milwaukee at San Diego. I'm going to give out a play on that one, so that'll be at the end. So hold on for the end, man, because my plays, they're all in games that have playoff implications. I think all 4 of my games do. Tampa at Baltimore. Now we get into the evening slate. Milwaukee at San Diego is actually an afternoon game out on the Pacific Coast. It'll be 4:10 Eastern. The rest of these games in the evening. Tampa, Baltimore. These two teams are both just playing out the stretch. Baltimore got the win 6-0 yesterday. I believe I gave out a lean on Baltimore in the first 5 yesterday, which was Bradish was pitching for Baltimore against, who was it for Tampa? I don't even remember. Oh, no, it wasn't Bradish. It was Creamer. Yeah, that's right. Creamer against Pepio. Yeah, Creamer outpitched Pepio yesterday. I think that was my lean yesterday, though. I mean, you could check me if I'm wrong, though. This game, though, yeah, I mean, Tampa might be in a little bit of an extra motivated spot if they got shut out yesterday. Tampa is still better than Baltimore. But I think in this game, I'd be leaning towards Baltimore in an under, which I'll explain in a second. If you want Baltimore, I think you should not really deal with their bullpen, though. Their bullpen is rested at least, but they're not a very good bullpen. Tampa has the better bullpen, and they're actually very well rested as well. I think neither team played on Monday. Most teams didn't play this Monday. And then both teams had limited usage yesterday, especially Tampa, because they were already out of the game. So Tampa's got a bullpen edge here. Tampa still actually has a better offense than Baltimore slightly. I do think Baltimore has the better starting pitcher in this one. Shane Baz is pitching for Tampa. I still think Baz is better than he looks. I mean, he looks ugly is what I'm saying. Like, what's up with this bleached mustache, dude? Come on. No, is that really, did he bleach it or is that really his hair color? I don't even know, man. Is he an albino? Baz, 4.99 ERA, 1.35 whip on the season, but he's got good strikeout stuff. So, and the advanced analytics guys will tell you that I think his like expected ERA and stuff is actually lower than what his actual ERA is. So they basically will tell you that he's a little bit better than his numbers look. He's better on the road, 4.05 ERA. He doesn't pitch very well at home in that tough spring training stadium they have to play in. Gives up a lot of home runs there. So Baz is definitely better on the road. He's been pretty good this month. He had one bad start on the road, actually, at the Cubs. His home starts have actually been good this month. 23-7 strikeout walk ratio this month, 3.44 ERA. So he is pitching better. He's in better form right now. And he has good numbers against Baltimore. It's a small 21 at-bat sample size. A lot of their hitters have faced him. 7-1 strikeout walk ratio. The only extra base hit is a home run from Henderson. 143 batting average allowed, 468 OPS. So Baz may very well do well in this game. And he's going up against Tyler Wells, who might also do well here. Wells is having a good season. It's been a very short season. He came back from injury. He's been surprisingly good. 2.04 ERA, 0.62 whip for Baltimore. I know numbers like that are not sustainable, but he is pitching well. 1.35 ERA at home. He's been good at home. He's only made 3 starts, and they haven't been against prolific offenses, although Tampa's isn't a good offense either, although they're probably actually the best offense that he'll face so far because he faced San Diego on the road, pitcher-friendly park there, Pittsburgh, and then the White Sox also on the road. He's done really well, though. I mean, you can't really knock him for what he's done. 14-1 strikeout walk ratio. He's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in all 3 of those starts, gone at least 5 innings in all of them. Tampa, they're still not like a great offense either. They're a mediocre offense, but his numbers against them are actually not great in 26 career at-bats. So maybe I take that back, actually, on the Baltimore side. 26 at-bats. They only have 3 hitters who have seen Wells before. But 8-4 strikeout walk ratio, 2 home runs from Diaz and Brandon Lowe. 269 batting average allowed, 944 OPS. So actually, I might take that back, even though both pitchers are in good form right now, which does matter. And maybe it does matter more than Wells not having great numbers against Tampa Bay. The money is coming in on Baltimore. They flipped from plus 100 to minus 112. 66% of tickets, 76% of the cash coming in on Baltimore. I mean, I do still generally think Tampa's the better team. They have a positive run differential on the season. They're going to be one of the better teams that misses the playoffs. They've been a little bit unlucky. They've had a difficult schedule. So it's the way it goes sometimes, man. But in this matchup, yeah, the money's coming in on Baltimore. I don't know if I would trust that, though. Maybe I take that back, actually, because I think Boz, he has the better matchup numbers over Wells, so I think Boz actually might be kind of a sneaky look in this one. So I actually take that back. I actually would probably slightly lean to Tampa on the money line full game because their bullpen is better. But I think probably my favorite or my preferred way of looking at this game is an under. It's down from 8.5 to 8 on the total. 60% of tickets, 99% of the cash on the under. I don't think I buy that cash percentage, but I think it still means there is money coming in on the under in this one. That's probably where I would go. I think both pitchers are set up to actually do okay in this game. Bullpens are rested. Yeah, I know Baltimore's bullpen isn't good. Tampa's is pretty good, so that could probably help even it out a little bit. That's the way I would look in that game. Detroit at Cleveland. Yeah, this is the series, man. This is absolute insanity. Cleveland has the tiebreaker now against Detroit. I don't know if they already did, but Cleveland won yesterday against Skubal, no less. And by the way, I said the game was going to be low scoring, but I didn't like the 6.5 under, and the game landed exactly 7. So that's the thing, man. 7. It wasn't a tie-breaking number, though. It was 5-2, I think, was the final for Cleveland. But still, that 6.5 is just always... you're really like, it's razor thin on that 6.5, so I don't like it. But this is the story, man. And this has been the biggest implosion I think I've ever seen. Detroit, in like early to mid-July, I'm pretty sure Detroit was winning this division by about 19 games or something over Cleveland. I think Kansas City might have been in second place at that point. And now Cleveland is tied with Detroit and holding the tiebreaker. It's insane. And in early August, I think Detroit still had like a 12-game lead over Cleveland. I've never seen anything like this. And Detroit has lost multiple starts in a row with Skubal on the hill, including the last one last night, where I thought Detroit would win that game with him on the mound. He hit one of Cleveland's hitters in the face, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. That was a scary moment. I forget which batter it was for Cleveland. It was not intentional. Skubal... He threw, it was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball up and in, but the hitter wasn't able to get out of the way of it in time because he was actually trying to bunt. It was a bad circumstance, man. Like, as soon as it happened, Skubal, like, threw his hat off and turned the other direction because he didn't even want to see, like, what had just happened. It was pretty bad. You can find it on Twitter, the replay of that. It was a scary moment, so hopefully he's fine. Let me see. Which guy was it on Cleveland? It was David Fry, I'm pretty sure is who it was. So we can pray for him right now. I think he'll be all right, though. But that happened yesterday. Scary moment. But this is just crazy, dude, that Cleveland is winning the division now. Detroit's now in one of the wild card spots. There is a chance that Detroit doesn't make the playoffs at all. And I keep pointing out how bad Cleveland is. Like, Cleveland... I mean, they sold off at the trade deadline thinking that they're not going to make it this year. They lost one of their starting pitchers and their closer to suspension because they were gambling on games. And Cleveland has no offense. They have the second worst offense in all of baseball, which I think is still the case. Yeah, they're right. This is right here. 29th out of 30 teams in overall OPS. Worse than Texas, the Rockies, the White Sox, the Nationals, the Giants, Cardinals. Cleveland's worse than all of them. The only team with a lower OPS is Pittsburgh. It's insane. And Cleveland, negative run differential on the season, man. So they should be basically like right at 500, maybe even a game below 500. And instead they're like double-digit games above 500. Detroit, by the way, is like plus 70 in run differential. It's insane. Cleveland, run differential-wise, more than 70 runs worse than Detroit. It's everything about it is so insane. And you got like Texas, I think, is like plus somewhere in like the plus, maybe even plus 80 run differential. They're not going to make the playoffs. Yeah, like every team in the AL that will make the playoffs has a positive run differential, obviously, fairly significantly so for the most part. Cleveland has a positive run differential. They're not going to make the playoffs. If Houston doesn't make it, they have a positive run differential as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's worked out such that Cleveland is in this spot. Their starting pitching has been better recently, and it hasn't really been the guy who's on the hill today, Tanner Bybee. Cleveland's bullpen has still been really good, so that's one of the main reasons how they've been able to do this is they're third in the league in bullpen ERA despite losing their closer. So they have the better bullpen here. Detroit still has the better offense here. Detroit on this massive skid. I mean, this has to be a wake-up call, though. They've lost 7 more games in a row. They've lost 10 of their last 11 games, losing 4 in a row now to Cleveland. I mean, something has to give, man. You got to think Detroit's got to win a game at some point, but I don't know if it's going to be this game. The starting pitching matchup isn't exactly the greatest for them. Even though I know Cleveland's one big disadvantage here is they can't hit. The bullpen usage is basically, it's pretty much the same for these two teams. So Cleveland has a bullpen edge here. Starting pitching, Jack Flaherty on the mound for Detroit. I don't know if he's the guy you want out there in this pressure situation, man. He seems like he doesn't really do well in situations like this. If you saw how he pitched like in the playoffs last year for Dodgers and whatever, I don't think he was particularly good. He's been mediocre this season, 4.6 ERA, 1.28 whip. That's pretty high. He's bad on the road, 5.2 road ERA. That's not good. This month, 3.14 ERA. That's good, but 13-7 strikeout walk ratio. That tells a different story. That is way too many walks, and 4 of them came in his last outing against Cleveland, where Cleveland's offense is so pathetic. They still only scored 1 run off him. That was in Detroit. And, by the way, Cleveland still won the game 4-0. It's so insane. So Cleveland did just see Flaherty, but I don't know if it really matters that much that they just saw him because, I mean, he's a veteran. Cleveland's seen him a bunch, and he has actually done well against them in 95 career at-bats. 27-9 strikeout walk ratio isn't exactly good, but 189 batting average allowed, 586 OPS. He's been pretty good against Cleveland, man. So Flaherty does have that going for him. At least the matchup numbers are okay. He's going up against Tanner Bybee, who was Cleveland's ace last year and has struggled a lot this year. His numbers are actually still not too bad, though. 4.34 ERA, 1.23 whip. He is better at home, though, so the home road splits are heavily in favor of him here. 3.35 ERA at home, and he's been better this month. Last month, he was really bad, had a ton of walks. His ERA was over 6, but he's found something because this month he's allowed 2 or fewer runs in all 3 of his starts. 21-3 strikeout walk ratio, 1.25 ERA. It includes 1 game at Tampa Bay, which, even though Tampa Bay is not the best offense, I do point out that's a difficult stadium to pitch in. The Yankees spring training stadium. It's hitter-friendly. He had a complete game 2-hit shutout against the White Sox. It is the White Sox, but still, if you do that to anybody at the major league level, that's impressive. And then he had another good start last time out against these Detroit Tigers. Gave up 1 earned run in 6 innings. Picked up a win in that one. 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. So Detroit did just see him too. So as far as the familiarity thing, both offenses just saw these opposing pitchers. So that's a wash. It doesn't really matter. Bybee is in good form right now, though. Better than Flaherty is. Up against Detroit, he has mediocre numbers. They're not bad. 133 batting average, 34-9 strikeout walk ratio, solid. 263 average allowed, 706 OPS, still not bad. So he may very well do well in this game. The money looked like it was coming in on Cleveland initially, but now it kind of looks like it's not. 73% of tickets, 72% of the cash. The public is on Cleveland now. Just the public doesn't want Detroit because they've been losing so many games recently. The public is very much like, what have you done for me lately? And I think part of it is that they want to root for this Cleveland story because it's so absurd. But the public is on them. It looks like less of the cash is on them, though. I don't know, man, because I could see arguments for both starting pitchers in this one, man. And Cleveland does have the bullpen edge, so I mean, my first reaction to this was a slight lean to Cleveland because the home road dichotomy lines up for Bybee. Flaherty does have good numbers against Cleveland, though, so if you buy into that aspect of it, then maybe an under starts making sense here. The total did go up from 7.5 to 7.5 with juice on the over. 69% of tickets, 62% of cash on the over. So it looks like the less of the money is on the over. So maybe some of the actual money is coming in on the under in this one. Could be worth a look because, again, Cleveland's offense isn't good. Flaherty does specifically do pretty well against them. Bybee is in really good form right now. But, yeah, I don't think I would want the Detroit side here, man. I mean, I know if you take Detroit, you're going up against, you're trying to basically fade two opposing streaks there, which sometimes I will do, because at some point when there's a streak going on, at some point the value is going to be on fading that streak. But it might not be here, man. Overall, I do think Bybee is more trustworthy than Flaherty, so I just don't think I could do it. I just don't think I could do it. I think if you do want Detroit, you have to make it a first 5 inning play, but I don't think I could do it. Pete, what's up, man? You don't trust Jack Flaherty either? Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, this is a game where he might do well, though, because he does have good matchup numbers against the opponent. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, I'm going to give out a play on that one. Miami at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is just kind of in cruise control right now. They don't really need to do much. I mean, they could potentially catch Milwaukee, but I think it's looking maybe less and less likely now. They've lost 3 games in a row. They lost by 1 to Miami yesterday. Miami is showing up for games like this, and Miami's actually on a hot streak right now. They've won several games in a row now, including pretty much ending Texas's season for good by sweeping them. But, Miami will show up for a game at Philadelphia because what else do they have left to play for? I mean, it's a big divisional series against the team that's going to win the division. So Philadelphia is pretty close to being locked into the 2 seed in the playoffs. They really don't have a whole lot to play for down the stretch here. Obviously, the Mets are not going to catch them either. So that's what's going on in this series here. I don't like either bullpen, of course. Neither bullpen is good. Miami's might actually even be worse at this point than Phillies. A lot of bullpen usage, especially on the Miami side yesterday. So I really don't think you want anything to do with really either bullpen in this game, but especially Miami's. Let me just double check this here. Miami, they're at 20th in bullpen ERA. Philly is still worse at 22nd, but it's pretty close. Philly obviously has the way better offense, but how focused will they be? I don't know. Miami's starting pitcher is Ryan Weathers in this one. He's not bad. I mean, he's kind of come around, man. Like his career is kind of going in the right direction here. 3.21 ERA, 1.22 whip for him this season. Pretty good. He is worse on the road, 3.57 ERA, which is still not bad. This month he has a 3 ERA and a 6-2 strikeout walk ratio. I mean, nothing to really write home about. He didn't do well in his last outing, but it was at Coors Field. Difficult environment if you're not used to the high elevation, whatever. Only lasted 4 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. Did have a 5-inning shutout against Washington the time before that. He hasn't really gone too deep into his games yet, though. So maybe he's being a little bit limited, although he is throwing like a few too many pitches, given the amount of innings that he's pitching. His walk number is still too high, is pretty much the issue that he has. But he's been pretty decent overall. Against Philadelphia, mediocre numbers. They've seen him a bit. 24 at bats, not a huge sample size still. 4-3 strikeout walk ratio, 250 batting average allowed, 875 OPS. So he hasn't done great against Philly, but he is better now than he has been in the past, and Philly has not seen him this year. So they have not seen Weathers in, I guess, the better form that he's been in. They haven't seen the recent weather. Jesus Luzardo is pitching for Philly here. He's had a pretty good season, definitely an up and down season, but pretty good overall. 4.08 ERA, 1.25 whip. He's worse at home, though, 4.5 ERA. This month, 4.29 ERA, mediocre. 24-5 strikeout walk ratio is pretty good, though. So he's been still in pretty decent form. Last couple times out, he did face the Mets and the Dodgers. Did pretty respectably in both of those outings. Went pretty deep into both. Did give up 4 earned runs in each of them, but had a lot of strikeouts. Kept his team in each game to some extent, at least, although he just got no run support against the Dodgers, really. So what can you do about that? And he picked up a win in the Mets game. He did face Miami the start before that, so they are recently familiar with him, but I don't know if that matters that much because he's been around for so long. He actually used to be on Miami earlier in his career. Maybe it was so long ago they were the Florida Marlins back then. I don't think so, but maybe. Against Miami, he's got decent numbers at 54 at bats, 11-7 strikeout walk ratio is not good, but 259 average allowed, 696 OPS. That's not too bad. So what do we do with this one, man? I I think maybe an under. Only in the first 5, though. I mean, there's no way that you can touch a full game under in this with these bullpens. I would not want to do anything with that. Philly is a big favorite. Probably they don't deserve to be a favorite of this magnitude, though, against Weathers, who is kind of under the radar, not under the weather. He's a decent young pitcher who people don't realize that he's good yet, so... and I think that he is at this point, so he's a little bit under the radar. And, of course, Philly really doesn't have a whole lot to play for, so they're probably too heavily favored here. They're down from -200 to -180 on the money line. The money is coming in against them. 78% of tickets, 58% of cash on them. But instead of trying to take a shot with Miami here, even though I guess you could, I would still probably only do that in the first 5 innings too, but I still think under in the first 5 might be better. You might see both pitchers actually do okay here. Total down from 8.5 to 8, so the money is coming in on the under. It's 8 juice to the under now. 50% of tickets, 98% of the cash on the under. I don't buy that cash percentage, but I do think that the cash is indeed coming in on the under to some extent. Curtis, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. All right. White Sox at the Yankees. I am not happy, man, because the spot where the Yankees could have gotten caught was last night in a return home spot like that, and having to face a good White Sox pitcher in Shane Smith. That was the spot, man, for the Yankees to maybe get caught. With Heel pitching for the Yankees yesterday, who walks way too many guys, and the Yankees were losing that game in the 9th inning, and the White Sox bullpen blew the game. Yankees bullpen held up in that game. I'm not happy about it, obviously, because I want the Yankees to lose. They might very well win the division, man. I would not be happy about that. I'd rather see the Yankees have to go on the road at some point in the playoffs here. As a Red Sox fan, I care more about the Yankees losing than the Red Sox winning. I don't think this is the year for the Red Sox, man. They got a young core. Too many of their guys are hurt. They're on their way up, but this year is not it. But I did tell you, like, about a month ago at this point, when you could have gotten the Yankees at plus 280 to win the division, that's looking like a pretty good bet right now. They have a chance to win it, even though I think Toronto has the tiebreaker over the Yankees right now, I believe. And I think it'll stay that way because it's head-to-head matchups and they don't play each other again. Yankees, they've beaten up on bad teams, man. The Yankees haven't been quite as good against teams that are winning teams, so something to keep in mind here. But, of course, this is against a terrible White Sox team. The Yankees still don't have a good bullpen. Neither of these teams have a good bullpen. The White Sox used a bit more of theirs yesterday. Where are the White Sox bullpen-wise here at this point? Got to refresh my memory. They're like middle of the pack. They're actually the better bullpen. Yankees are in the bottom third at 23rd in bullpen ERA. White Sox actually not terrible at 16th in bullpen ERA. So another thing that pisses me off is the White Sox bullpen didn't come through last night. And it's not going to be good for them in this game because even though they have the better bullpen in general, Yankees have the way better offense. That's obviously not in question. But the White Sox are going with a bullpen game in this one with Frazier Ellard listed as the starter here. He doesn't even have good numbers as a relief pitcher here. 4.5 ERA, 1.5 whip. That's not good. 5.14 ERA on the road. Pretty bad. He's probably going to be like an opener. He's basically gone like one inning, maybe slightly over an inning or less than an inning in all of his outings this year. So I'm not expecting really anything from him. Yankees have barely seen him. 3 guys have seen him. They're 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. I don't know why Slater is listed here with no actual official at-bats against him. I don't know. But even though he's unfamiliar to the Yankees, I don't think it matters handicapping him that much because he's only going to be in the game for about an inning. And then the White Sox bullpen is going to pitch this entire game. That's not good. Huge disadvantage for the White Sox here. And they're going up against the Yankees' best pitcher, Max Fried. So I'm not happy about this. This is almost an automatic win for the Yankees. Although if you want to bet the Yankees, you have to pay an exorbitant price for it, obviously, because it's the Yankees and it's their best pitcher. 2.92 ERA for Fried, 1.11 whip. He's better at home, 2.46 ERA. He's back in form this month with a 2.05 ERA, 28-7 strikeout walk ratio. He struggled for like a couple of months, but he's back in form right now. He's won 5 games in a row. Yeah, so obviously he's in good form right now. And the White Sox have barely ever seen him before. They only have 2 hitters who've ever seen him before, Meade and Taylor. The only hit is a single from Taylor. They're 1 for 12 combined off him with 3 strikeouts and no walks. So Yankees pretty much have the edge in every aspect of this game, except for the bullpens. But even that isn't a huge advantage to the White Sox. Well, and because the White Sox are going with a bullpen game, that kind of negates that aspect of it too. Yankees are down a little bit from minus 360 to minus 350. There's no possible way you can lay that on the money line, though. 78% of tickets, 83% of the cash coming in on the Yankees. I mean, if you want to play this game, the way to play this game, I would have to say, I mean, there are actually 2 ways you could probably go about it. You could go Yankees over their team total, or you could go White Sox under their team total. I probably wouldn't disagree with either of them. I like the Yankees over their team total more, though, because it factors in just the White Sox going with a bullpen game. It just seems like they're going to get lit up in this game. So that's probably what I would do if you want to play this game. You're probably having to – actually, the number probably isn't that high, but you probably need the Yankees to score like 6 runs in the game. So maybe it's a little bit dicey. White Sox, if you go under their team total, you're probably asking them to go under about 2 runs here. And with the Yankees bullpen probably getting involved in this game, maybe that's the less favorable of those 2. Robin, what's up? Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you. Robin, not in the chat very often. The rest of these guys, the rest of these guys are all regulars. Hopefully, Robin, hopefully you like baseball, because that's all this show is today. It's all autism, man. It's like I'm like Jonah Hill in Moneyball, which I think I should rewatch that movie, by the way. I saw that movie in the theater. I actually haven't read the book. I should probably read the book, but I liked the movie, and I haven't seen it since then. My Boston Red Sox are at Toronto. I didn't love the matchup for the Red Sox yesterday with Giolito against Gausman. And Giolito, he pitched better than I expected, obviously, yesterday. Gausman wasn't terrible, but the Red Sox were able to get a 4-1 win yesterday. That was in a return home spot for Toronto, so it wasn't exactly the best scheduling setup for Toronto, which was the one favorable thing about that for the Red Sox, besides the fact the Red Sox have the better bullpen. The Red Sox indeed have the better bullpen in this matchup. Both teams have solid offenses, but Toronto's offense is the better of the 2. Neither team used a lot of their bullpen yesterday. Red Sox, a little bit more usage yesterday, including Chapman. But they have history of using him 2 games in a row. So who knows what the Red Sox are going to do. Red Sox have an advantage in the starting pitching matchup in this game, though, with Garrett Crochet on the mound. And this is a big game, obviously, for both teams. And, of course, as I forgot to mention, we know the Yankees in that White Sox game. The Yankees are still battling for at least a wild card spot and have a really decent chance at winning the division here. So, obviously, they have motivation. The White Sox still have motivation, just in that they get to play the Yankees. I mean, that's still a motivator for a team that's out of it. You'll get up for a game like that. This Red Sox-Toronto game is obviously huge. I mean, this is still the battle for the division. Yankees, Red Sox, Toronto are all in the mix here, fighting for either the division or a wild card. For the Red Sox, it's going to be a wild card at this point. But they did beat Toronto yesterday, and Toronto's only 1 game ahead of the Yankees now, and I believe the Red Sox are 2 games behind that, maybe something like that. But Garrett Crochet is on the mound for the Red Sox, 2.69 ERA, 1.05 whip. We know he's good. 2.42 ERA on the road. Good on the road. The one thing that I've been pointing out about him is that he's gone way more innings than he has ever before in his career. He's approaching 200 innings pitched, and a lot of times that can cause a pitcher to wear down, especially when they throw almost 100 miles an hour like Crochet does, but he hasn't really shown signs of that yet. His strikeout rate has been enormous this month. Red Sox have won 6 starts in a row of his. He's had double-digit strikeout totals in 3 of those 6. Had one weird bad start against Cleveland, and the Red Sox still won that game. And then he's been good otherwise. I know he has a 4.68 ERA this month just because of that Cleveland game. He's allowed 3 or fewer earned runs in all but that one out of his last 7 starts. He did pitch against the Yankees and at Tampa in his last 2 starts, and he picked up wins in both of them, had 21 strikeouts and 4 walks over that span, 35-4 strikeout walk ratio this month, and actually had a difficult start at the A's the start before that. It wasn't difficult for him, but sometimes pitchers struggle in that AAA ballpark that the A's pitch in, the A's play in, I should say, because it's not a pitcher-friendly park at all. And neither is Tampa. So Crochet is pitching pretty impressively still. His strikeout rate kind of shows that he's still not wearing down yet. He's been really good against Toronto, too. In 60 career at-bats, they only have 7 hits off him, although 2 of them are home runs from Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Springer. 17-5 strikeout walk ratio. Too many walks, kind of, but still not bad. 117 batting average allowed, though. 401 OPS. So Crochet has done well against Toronto. He's going up against a guy who's way older than he is, Max Scherzer. So what's the age difference in this? It's almost 20 years. No, it's 15 years, basically, age gap between these two starters. Not a good situation for a relationship. Max Scherzer pitching for the Blue Jays. He's done okay this season, but he seems to be maybe wearing down, even though he hasn't pitched much this season, really. The age might be catching up to him, man. He's got a 5.06 ERA now. 1.25 whip is still not bad, but obviously he's nowhere near what he once was. He is better at home, 4.4 ERA. This month he's been pretty atrocious, though. 15-7 strikeout walk ratio. That's bad. He's failed to make it 5 innings in 3 of his last 4 outings. He has an 11.7 ERA this month. Yeah, it's being skewed a bit because last time he gave up 7 earned runs in the first inning and didn't even last the entire inning against the Royals. But that is a bad sign. I mean, that's a bad Royals offense, and it was on the road in a pitcher-friendly park in Kansas City. So even though he might be angry and want to bounce back from that, yeah, obviously he's not going to pitch that bad again in this outing. But, I mean, even if he pitches a little bit better, it still might not be enough to outpitch Crochet. His numbers are good in the past against the Red Sox in 34 career at-bats, 10-2 strikeout walk ratio, 176 batting average allowed, 575 OPS. 2 of the 6 hits the Red Sox have are home runs from Bregman and Duran. But, yeah, I mean, you got to tilt the scales to Crochet in the starting pitching matchup. But even though I think the Red Sox have a pitching advantage throughout this entire game, the money's coming in against them. They're down from minus 125 to minus 120 on the money line, 77% of tickets, 61% of the cash. That worries me that the money's fading the Red Sox here. And it might sort of just be because, well, both of these teams are good and like maybe the Red Sox like shouldn't be a favorite on the road. Basically, it might be about the price on that money line. Money is coming in on the under, expecting both pitchers to pitch well. Total down from 8 to 7.5. 51% of tickets, 95% of the cash on the under. I kind of disagree with it, but Toronto, I mean, the situational spot is a little bit better for Toronto because when a team returns home from a road trip, if they have a bad game in that return home spot, which is kind of a distracted spot sometimes, it's a lot better for that team in the second game back home after that happens because they refocus. And it tends to be a much better spot in that next game after that. So Toronto is in that spot. But, I mean, to me, Crochet, I think, should have the edge over Scherzer in this one. But I'm not going to hold my breath because, obviously, I want the Red Sox to win these games. But just because I want their young guys to get into the playoffs and get some experience, although, of course, Roman Anthony's not going to be playing. But still, I want these guys to get some playoff experience at least. We will see. But I mean, to me, I think the Red Sox do have the pitching edge throughout the game. Jordan, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out again. Sutter Health Park. Which park is that? I don't even know. Dude, these parks change affiliations like so much. I don't even know what park is which. Like Toronto, is that what Toronto's is? I thought it was the Rogers Center. It is. So what are we talking about? I don't know where Sutter Health Park is, man. But every one of these parks changes their like sponsorships and whatever. Minnesota at Texas. Both of these teams are just playing out the stretch at this point. But Texas, they look like a defeated team, man, because they were in the race until they got swept by Houston, and they haven't won a game since before then. They've lost 8 games in a row now, including yesterday to Minnesota. I mean, at some point, you got to think they're just going to be sick of losing and just show up motivated for a game just because of that. I mean, Minnesota's playing out the stretch too, but they're showing up in some of these games. They've won the last 2 games. Texas obviously has the way better bullpen in this matchup. That's not even close. But they used a lot of their bullpen yesterday, so the bullpen usage is actually in favor of Minnesota pretty significantly. Minnesota only used 2 relief pitchers yesterday, so that almost kind of negates Texas's bullpen edge a little bit here. Both offenses are bad, but Minnesota's is the less bad of the two. Starting pitching, it's pretty obvious that Texas's starting pitcher in this matchup is the better one, which is why they're a huge favorite here, but they might be favored by too much in a game, that just doesn't really matter. Taj Bradley is pitching for the Twins. I mean, he hasn't been very good this year. 5.2 ERA, 1.34 whip. He's been better on the road, 4.48 ERA on the road. His home numbers might be a little bit skewed from pitching in Tampa because he was with Tampa for the majority of the season, and that is a hitter-friendly ballpark. But he hasn't been good since being acquired by Minnesota either. He made 2 starts in August and had a 7.2 ERA. 7-4 strikeout walk ratio there. And then this month, 8.22 ERA in 3 starts, 16-6 strikeout walk ratio. So he is just not pitching well, man. Nothing to really like about this. The Twins have lost all 5 games that he started. He's allowed 4 or more runs in 3 of the 5. Things are just not going well for him. I do think that he has some potential. He's still a young guy, but not going well for him. However, he does have pretty good numbers against Texas in 37 at-bats, 162 average allowed, 689 OPS. That's pretty good, except 11 walks, 8 strikeouts. It's too many, 11 strikeouts, 8 walks, So it would be worse the other way around, but it's still pretty bad. On both home runs he's allowed to Texas have been Burger. Burger gives him a problem, man. Burger giving him heartburn or something. I don't know. But other than that, he's done pretty well against Texas. The Sacramento A's, since they're going to be in that stupid ballpark for like 3 years, why don't they call themselves the Sacramento A's? It's so stupid. They're just the A's with no city affiliation, the homeless A's. I don't know, man. Jacob deGrom is pitching for Texas here. He's good. I mean, he's one of the guys that's getting up there in age who's really had a successful season. 3.01 ERA, 0.93 whip. Really good at home, 2.39 ERA. This is a very pitcher-friendly park. Hasn't been as good this month. He may be tiring out a little bit. 5.71 ERA. Still a 16-3 strikeout walk ratio this month is pretty good, though. Faced Houston twice and the Mets, 2 of those on the road. So not entirely easy opponents to face. Minnesota has not seen him much at all. They've had 2 hitters who have ever seen him before. They've done okay. Buxton and Vasquez have a 333 average, 889 OPS. They're 3 for 9 off him with 2 strikeouts, no walks, but not a lot you can take away from that. DeGrom is still pretty unfamiliar to them. He is the better pitcher here, but the money's coming in against Texas. Again, I think lining Texas as this heavy of a favorite when they don't score much and they don't have anything to play for at this point is kind of ridiculous. They're down from minus 190 to minus 187. I mean, I think they're still technically not eliminated, but I think we kind of know, man. Down from minus 190 to minus 187, 80% of tickets, only 68% of the cash on them. So money coming in a bit against them. I wouldn't want to have my money on Minnesota here, though, with Bradley and that bullpen. No thanks. I mean, this game is just a complete pass for me. I don't even know how I would want to play this game, to be honest, or how I would want to approach it. This is one of the hardest games for me to give out any sort of opinion on the entire board, man. So I don't even think I can. I don't want to mislead people, really. But you can see what the money is doing. The money's also coming in the under. So the money is coming in on Minnesota in the under. So just take that for what it's worth, I guess. Total did flip from 7.5 juice to the over to 7.5 juice to the under. 56% tickets on the over, 98% of the cash on the under. Mets Chicago is going to be on ESPN. Hey, we get a ESPN finally decides to carry a baseball game and it's because there's no other major sport on tonight. Isn't that great? And we do have the earlier games are on MLB Network, by the way, in Tampa, Baltimore on FS1 for some reason. But this is a big game, so I'll talk about it later. That's going to be one of my plays. Kansas City at Anaheim. We got Kansas City right yesterday. Anaheim was in probably the worst return home spot out of any of the teams on the board yesterday. Glad I gave it out. I gave it out late while I was handicapping it. I was like, yeah, let's go with Kansas City. It was a bad spot for Anaheim. I mean, when you're a team that's out of it like Anaheim, you're not even as good as your record looks. You're an underdog. returning home from a long road trip like that, that is a bad spot against a Kansas City team that still has some motivation. But now Anaheim, that they lost that game yesterday, they're in a better spot here because, again, it's that spot where you return home, you get distracted, whatever, you don't play well. The next game up, you tend to refocus and do a little bit better, so they are in that spot. Kansas City is still technically trying to stay alive here. They're one game above 500. They're not mathematically eliminated yet, so they do have something to play for at least, whereas Anaheim does not. Kansas City has the way better bullpen here, which was part of my handicap last night. The bullpen usage was similar on both sides, so Kansas City still has a bullpen edge. Anaheim has the better offense here, although their offense has been slipping. But Kansas City's is still not good. I mean, I'm pretty sure Anaheim's is still better. Where are they at? No, I'm wrong. Holy shit. Kansas City, they have leapfrogged Anaheim in OPS on the season team-wise. That's insane, dude. Because Kansas City's offense is not that good, and they're ahead of Anaheim now. That is wild. Stephen Kolek is pitching for Kansas City here. They picked him up from San Diego around the trade deadline. He's been good. He's been the better of the two San Diego pitchers that they got at the trade deadline between him and Berger. He's had a good season overall, 3.54 ERA, 1.14 whip. Very strangely, he has a better road ERA, 2.31 on the season, even though both teams that have had him have had a pitcher-friendly ballpark. Doesn't make any sense. He's been good with Kansas City, though. He's made 4 starts with them. He's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in all 4. He's gone at least 6 innings in all 4. 19-3 strikeout walk ratio over that span. That's pretty solid. An ERA in the ones since then, 1.6 something or so. Doing the math there. In the high 1.6s. So he's done pretty well. He did face Detroit and Seattle both at home, though, but pitched pretty well in both of those games. Those are decent offenses. Anaheim has basically never seen him before, too. Just Chris Taylor is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. None of their other hitters have ever faced him. So Kolek in good form right now, and he does have an unfamiliarity edge here over Anaheim because they haven't really faced him before. He probably is the guy that has the advantage in the starting pitching matchup. He's going up against Yusei Kikuchi, and I say he's not that good. He's been okay for Anaheim this year, I guess, 4.05 ERA, but his 1.45 whip is way too high. I mean, he walks way too many guys, dude. He is better at home significantly, a 3 ERA at home, but he's not in good form right now at all. This month, 6.98 ERA. 12-9 strikeout walk ratio. That's pretty miserable. He wasn't too much better last month either. Yeah, granted, he only had made 1 home start this month, but it was actually his worst start. He went 2 innings, gave up 7 earned runs against the A's, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. So Kikuchi is just in really bad form right now. I know he's stepping down in class to face a Royals offense that is, I think, worse than all the offenses he's faced this month. Yeah, they're worse than Houston, A's, Seattle, and Milwaukee. So, yeah. Those are the other teams he's faced this month, but still, I don't know that he's going to actually do well here. He does have good numbers against the Royals, though, in 59 at-bats, 18-2 strikeout walk ratio, 169 batting average allowed, 434 OPS. So maybe he'll do decently here. The money's coming in on Anaheim, interesting, because I think Kansas City has a pitching edge across the board in this game, like I thought yesterday, but this is a little bit less of a good spot for them, at least. Kansas City's getting the public ticket percentage, 64% of the tickets, 52% of the cash. So the market indicators are saying Anaheim, excuse me, in this one. The under is also getting money, down from total down from 8.5 to 8.5, heavily juiced to the under. So it is headed towards 8, which not a significant difference between 8.5 and 8, though. 50% of tickets, 62% of the cash on the under. Excuse me. So do with that information what you will. I mean, if you want to go under in this game, Anaheim's bullpen is a little bit of a concern, so maybe first 5 inning under makes more sense. I could see both pitchers doing okay. I still think that even though the spot's a little bit better for Anaheim, I still think I would slightly lean to Kansas City because, you know me, I like the better pitching, so that's the team that I think does have the better pitching here, but not a strong opinion for me there, really. Has the pitch clock helped baseball viewership? I don't think so. I mean, I guess that was the intent. Oh, let's make the games shorter. I mean, that's just that's a bad sign in general, dude. If you want like basically, like, what are you saying? Basically, like, our game is so boring, people don't want to watch baseball, that we need to shorten the experience. I mean, what the fuck is that? It's so ridiculous, dude. So no, I don't think so. I think it just fucks with with what is an American pastime, man. I think it's the less bad of the rule changes. I mean, the ghost runner is obviously way worse. It's stupid. I mean, I still don't like the pitch clock at all. I don't like the whatever they're going to be doing next year with this balls versus strikes challenge thing that's going to be not even using umpires. I don't like that at all. I hate it, actually. Like, I hate bad umping, but bad umping is part of baseball, man. Like, they're taking, like, what was America's pastime, and they're dehumanizing it to a huge extent, man. So I don't like it at all. It's becoming more, like, robotic, more like you're watching some arcade, like, arena thing. It's so stupid. Yeah, the ghost runner, well, I'm not going to live that down, man. That under that I had in that Miami-Texas series where the game was 1-1 after the 9th inning, and it went over 8. It went 12 innings and went over 8, and that was because Texas retied the game in the bottom of the 10th. I hate it. I hate the ghost runner. We will get to the Diamondbacks game. Ranger, what's up, man? I'm going to give it out at the end of the show, though, because it's one of my best bets. So if you're willing to wait, but if you're not, then this is going to be available everywhere. So you could go to the end of the show. I'll put the chapters in there. It'll be at the end of the show. It's going to be the very last game that I talk about, though. I'm going to talk, Colorado, Seattle. I'll talk about this very briefly. I mean, this is such a disgusting game, dude. I mean, Colorado is awful. Seattle won again yesterday, although they only won 4-3. They were in a return home spot and facing a team they likely were not really going to focus on it. I told you yesterday, I gave out leans on the White Sox and Colorado plus 1.5 run line in both games, and they both lost and still covered, both losing by 1. So there you go, man. Some, crazy opinions for me there. But Seattle was still able to get the win. They're on a 5-game win streak here. They're going to win the division, the AL West. They're ahead of Houston by 4 games now. There's basically no looking back. So is it possible they take a step back? Maybe. But they also didn't play well in that return home spot. So there is the possibility they got a little bit of a scare yesterday, having a close game against a bad team, and maybe they'll play better here. I don't really want any part of Colorado in this game, to be honest. I mean, their bullpen is obviously the worst of the two. They did use 4 relief pitchers yesterday. So did Seattle, but Seattle has the better bullpen. Seattle has the better offense. There's no question about any of this, and they have the better starting pitcher. But you're going to have to lay a massive price if you want Seattle here. Tanner Gordon is pitching for the Rockies. Not good numbers. I mean, what else is new? 6 ERA, 1.46 whip. He's actually worse on the road. He's better in Coors Field. Doesn't make sense. 7.4 road ERA. This is a pitcher-friendly park he's going to be pitching in, but still, I don't know what we're going to get out of him. Although he did pitch well in a pitcher-friendly park on the road. The last time he was on the road at San Diego, he held them to 1 earned run in 6 innings with 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. So he's actually not in horrific form right now. This month, he has a 5.74 ERA, 18-3 strikeout walk ratio. The last 2 outings, he gave up 3 or fewer earned runs and went 6 innings in each of them. And actually, if you go back, 6 of his last 7 outings, he's actually done that. He's allowed 3 or fewer earned runs, and he's gotten 6 or more innings in 4 of the last 6 outings. So he's actually in okay form right now. So something to consider here, even though I know the Mariners are a pretty good offense. Mariners have never seen him before. I guess Suarez, even though he has no at-bats listed on the board here, he has a 1,000 on-base percentage, which I guess means the one time he faced Gordon, he got hit by a pitch or something. Is that what that must be what it was? I don't know, man. Reaching on an error doesn't improve your on-base percentage, I wouldn't imagine. So I think it was a hit by pitch. I don't know, man. Maybe a hit by pitch. But basically, Seattle has never seen Gordon before, so maybe he has a little bit of an edge there because Seattle's hitters are unfamiliar with him. They have to figure him out. Luis Castillo is pitching for Seattle, and he's had another pretty good season. He's obviously the better of these 2 pitchers. 3.63 ERA, 1.23 whip. He's way better at home. Again, Seattle, pretty much all their pitchers are. 2.71 ERA at home. He's in really good form again this month. 2.86 ERA, 19-3 strikeout walk ratio. 3 good starts in a row after he didn't pitch well at Tampa. Had a rough month last month, but he's bounced back nicely. Last 3 starts, all good. Allowed 1 or fewer earned runs in 6 innings, all of them. Not facing good offenses, really, though. Atlanta, Anaheim, Kansas City. But, of course, Colorado's a bad offense, too. They're particularly bad on the road. So he should do well in this one. His numbers are fine against Colorado. It's 62 at-bats, a really good 18-1 strikeout-walk ratio, 258 batting average allowed, 657 OPS. Both home runs that Colorado has against him are from Moniak. So I do think Castillo should pitch well in this one as well. The money lines dropped significantly on Seattle, down from minus 317 to minus 285. Some significant money fading Seattle here. 96% of tickets, only 63% of the cash. Basically just thinking Seattle's too heavy of a favorite here. I don't disagree with that. The under might be worth a look here. The total's low at 7.5. 86% of tickets, 86% of the cash, but maybe a first 5 inning under even, but then you probably have to go under 3.5. But I could see both starting pitchers actually doing decently in this game. Colorado's bullpen may be something you want to avoid, though. So those are my thoughts on that one. Nate, what's up, man? Thanks for hanging out, man. All right. St. Louis, San Francisco. This is just kind of an ugly series between 2 pretty bad offenses. They're 2 good bullpens. San Francisco's on the verge of getting swept, so maybe they'll have a little bit of extra motivation for that reason. They lost each game by 1. Both of these teams are done. They're not going anywhere. As far as the bullpen usage, I think there was a lot of bullpen usage yesterday. It almost seemed like it was an extra inning game, even though it wasn't. St. Louis used most of their relief pitchers yesterday. San Francisco only used 4. San Francisco has the bullpen edge in this game. They might actually even have an offensive edge at this point. Let me see. No, it's close, but St. Louis is still just ahead of San Francisco. St. Louis tied in 22nd for OPS. San Francisco 24th in team OPS. Sonny Gray is pitching for St. Louis here. Decent starter. I mean, he's had kind of a mediocre season, though. 4.33 ERA, 1.23 whip. He's not good on the road. 5.11 road ERA, so that's not good. He did just face San Francisco at home back on September 7th. It was a mediocre outing for him, really, at best. In 5 1/3 innings, he gave up 3 earned runs, had 4 walks, which is the worst thing about that start. Had 6 strikeouts. Overall, his strikeout walk ratio is still pretty good this month, 26-8. Had a good start last time out against Milwaukee. He's allowed 3 or fewer earned runs in 3 straight starts at least, but a 5.24 ERA this month, so that's not very good. He might be wearing down a little bit at the end of the season. He's getting a little bit older. He's kind of a small dude for a pitcher, so I don't know if that kind of makes it so that your stamina isn't as good. I don't know, but San Francisco, having seen him recently, does mean they're recently familiar with him, but I don't know if that matters because they've seen a good amount of him anyway in 82 career at-bats. The interesting thing about this is Gray has actually not allowed too many hits to them at all. 207 batting average allowed, but he's allowed power and a ton of walks to them. A 782 OPS, 23 to 17 strikeout walk ratio. Ridiculous. So Gray usually is in good command. He usually does not walk guys. So that's a little bit of a concern that he walks that many guys against San Francisco. But he is going up against a San Francisco bullpen game. San Francisco has JT Brubaker on the mound, who they got from the Yankees at some point not too long ago. Dude, this Brubaker, if you're watching this on video, I mean, he looks pretty old school, man. He looks like kind of an older dude. He's got that stash. I mean, he looks like he should have been pitching back in. He kind of looks like if he had long hair, which the Yankees I think still probably don't allow, even though they started allowing beards. Totally ridiculous. If he had long hair, he'd kind of look like Dennis Eckersley or something. He looks like he should be in like a 70s porno. He looks like he should be pitching in the majors, though. But he's not really that great. But the Yankees thing, by the way, is so ridiculous that the Yankees, they're so, oh, we're world class and uptight that they disallowed beards up until this year, and they only allowed us so they could get Devin Williams, and he hasn't even pitched well. It's so ridiculous because they wanted Williams to be able to keep his beard for whatever reason. It's so dumb. Brubaker, his numbers are good on the season, 3.65 ERA, 1.22 whip. Not as good at home, 4.82 ERA, but remember, most of that was with the Yankees. So with San Francisco, they have a more pitcher-friendly park. Although with San Francisco, he's just been okay. 4.15 ERA, 8-2 strikeout walk ratio. But he faced difficult offenses, Arizona, the Dodgers, and had to pitch at Coors Field. So not easy undertakings, but he's only gone like 2 and 2 1/3 innings in all those outings. So he's going to be an opener. This is a bullpen game for San Francisco here. So that kind of negates their bullpen advantage a little bit here. Going up against Gray, you got to figure Gray probably will last deeper into this game unless he has one of his complete implosion starts, which I'm not really thinking he will here. The money is coming in on St. Louis. San Francisco's down from -130 to -108. Pretty significant movement coming in on St. Louis. 60% of tickets, 83% of the cash coming in at St. Louis. I mean, I won't really disagree with it. Generally, I do prefer Gray over a bullpen game. It's just a matter of Gray isn't that good on the road. Is he wearing down? He's not in great form right now. So we will see about that. But that's the best market read on that is the St. Louis side. And then we have Houston at the A's. The A's got the win yesterday, despite being in a return home spot. 5-1 win yesterday. Ridiculous, man. Houston's now in the wild card race. They're probably not going to win the division now. They've lost 4 games in a row after getting swept by Seattle. Following that up with a loss here, having to go out to the Pacific Coast. Looking at this, I almost wanted to give out Houston as a play, just looking at the starting pitching here. I'm not going to. But plus, Houston has the motivation here. Although you got to think the A's, they're going to be motivated too, though, because the A's, they're playing like a motivated team, even though they've been out of it for a while. They got these young hitters that want to show up and play. And they're going to show up for a game against Houston because they actually have the opportunity to knock Houston out of the playoffs. So I think they might relish that opportunity a little bit. Houston does have the better bullpen. I mean, that's not even really close. They're pretty well rested. The A's didn't use much of theirs yesterday either, but Houston's got the bullpen edge. The A's have the better offense, although the A's have actually been pretty bad at home. So something to keep in mind there, although Houston's not really that good on the road either. I mean, they're better than some teams on the road. I think they're right around 500. But the A's are particularly bad at home for whatever reason. They basically just don't have an advantage in this stadium, the temporary stadium that they're in. They tend to just give up a ton of runs here. You got to kind of favor Hunter Brown, though, in the starting pitching matchup here. I mean, he's basically Houston's best pitcher. I mean, he is. 2.3 ERA, 1.01 whip. His ERA at home and away is almost exactly the same. He's given up 2 or fewer earned runs in every start going all the way back into late July. This month, 1.93 ERA, 19-6 strikeout walk ratio. He's pitching well, man. And I don't think he's going to be that thrown off by pitching in this hitter-friendly ballpark here. His numbers against the A's are actually not that great. On 76 at-bats, 22-3 strikeout walk ratio is really good, though. 289 batting average allowed, 724 OPS. They have hit him for decent contact, at least, but some of those numbers have got to be back when Brown wasn't as good. Facing the A's this year, he did have a home start where he gave up 1 earned run in 5 innings. He pitched at home against them and really was good in an earlier start in May. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, no walks in that one. But he has not pitched in this stadium yet. But he's been better against the A's this year. So some of those numbers against the A's were when he wasn't as good in the past. So I kind of expect him to pitch better here, pitch well. Plus, I mean, everything's on the line here, man. You know, he's got to show up for this one. He's going up against Luis Severino, who has had a very mediocre season, 4.72 ERA, 1.33 whip. Kind of worse than mediocre, but it's all been because he's way worse in this stadium at home. He has some of the most significant home road splits out of any pitcher. He's actually been good on the road, and he's terrible at home. On the road, 3.02 ERA. At home, 6.51. He's the guy that I've faded multiple times at home, and I've done pretty well in doing so. This month, he hasn't been great. With 3 starts on the road and 1 start at home, he still hasn't been that good this month. 16-5 strikeout walk ratio is all right. 4.05 ERA. Mediocre, man. So I'm not thinking he's going to do that well here. Against Houston, he has okay numbers. They've seen a lot of him. 170 at-bats. 47-12 strikeout walk ratio. That's pretty good. But 259 batting average allowed. 706 OPS. Not bad, but he doesn't pitch well in the stadium, so I'm kind of expecting him to get out-pitched here. I kind of lean to Houston, but the money is way against it. They're down from -140 to -122. They're one of those road favorites with the public on them. 89% of tickets on them only 77% of the cash. So the money is disagreeing with it and coming in against Houston. I don't really fully agree with it, but I don't want to fade like a market read like that either. So I'm going to stay away from it. Let's go to the best bets, man. And hopefully our Ranger on Twitter hopefully is still around, man, for this, because it's going to take a little while because we got 4 games to do for the best bet segment here, and then I will get out of here. It won't be too long of a video today. It's still over an hour, though. I forgot again that this has been the breakdown. I totally forgot. Oops. All right. Let's get to the best bets, man. I need some like music in the background for that, as you guys have said. First one up, I told you we're going to have a lot of unders. The first one is Milwaukee and San Diego under the total. You can get under 8 at a decent price. That's what I'm showing it at. It's moving a little bit. I think 7.5. I mean, because 8's not really a key number. 7 is the key number. So if you get under 7.5, you're still getting the better of that key number of 7, because that's what breaks the 3-3 tie. I like the under in this one. You got a pitcher-friendly park here, so that's one good thing about this. The public's going to want to more than likely the public's going to look at this game and think over, because it's 2 teams that are in the playoff race. It's Milwaukee and San Diego. Probably the public probably kind of thinks they're a better offense than they have been. They've only been an okay offense at best. They've been kind of in the bottom third for a while. Milwaukee's a pretty good offense, and yes, they are better on the road, but I think this pitching matchup in the pitcher-friendly park could kind of limit that a little bit. 60% of the tickets are on the over, but 55% of the cash on the under. Total is dropping, so that is what I like here. And just to talk about the side briefly, the money is coming in at San Diego, up from -115 to -125. 73% of tickets, 82% of the cash coming in at San Diego. I wouldn't strongly disagree with it. Milwaukee doesn't really have anything to play for at this point. They're close to wrapping up, having home field throughout the playoffs. They have the best record right now. They're probably not going to be caught by Philly. San Diego, they're in the playoff. They're in the wild card race, and they want to make sure they get that last wild card, even though they're I think they're in the number 5 spot. The second to last wild card. They want to make sure that they get that, although I think it's pretty unlikely that they're going to move out of that spot. But they do have a chance to still win the division here, though, so they do still have a little bit of motivation over what Milwaukee has. But we're looking at the under here. I'm going to go with this being a pitching matchup here in the afternoon. Of course, San Diego has a good bullpen. We know this. They didn't use much of it yesterday, so San Diego's bullpen's in good shape. Milwaukee's bullpen in good shape as well after only using 1 relief pitcher yesterday. Milwaukee's has been actually pretty decent recently. They're up to 11th in overall ERA. San Diego, of course, is first in ERA, best ERA for bullpens in the major leagues. So the bullpens, I think, are fine here. Chad Patrick is pitching for Milwaukee. He's a young dude that does have some talent. 3.66 ERA, 1.28 whip this season. Hasn't pitched a ton, but he's been pretty decent. He's been worse on the road, 4.56 road ERA, but this is a pitcher-friendly park, so he might do better here. I know it's a little bit questionable how deep he's going to go into this game, as he had a couple of 1-inning appearances, and then last outing, they limited him to 4 1/3 innings, gave up 2 earned runs against St. Louis, who is not a good offense, but he had 3 strikeouts, no walks in that outing. Does have a 13-3 strikeout walk ratio this month, 4.22 ERA. So he might be a little bit limited, but I think you're probably going to get 4 to 5 innings out of him in this game, and then we get the bullpen for the rest of it, but I'm still okay with that. His numbers are good against San Diego. They've seen him a little bit. 19 at-bats, 5-3 strikeout walk ratio, no extra base hits, 158 batting average, 431 OPS. So he's been pretty good against San Diego, and they have seen him this year, but that was back in June. He pitched well against San Diego in Milwaukee back in June. Went 6 innings, allowed 1 earned run to them, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. So yes, he had an unfamiliarity edge there that he doesn't really have now. I know San Diego is more familiar with him now, but they haven't faced him in a while, so it's a little bit less of an advantage to San Diego's offense in that case. Like if they were facing him again right away, it would be a little bit more of an advantage. So I think he'll do okay here. And he's going up against Dylan Cease, who has had kind of a disappointing season, but I think he will do well in this game. 4.64 ERA, 1.32 whip. I know those numbers are not good, but 3.72 ERA at home. He's still a talented pitcher, and he's been better this month, kind of moving in the right direction here. 3.43 ERA this month, 24-8 strikeout walk ratio. I know it was against all bad offenses, Baltimore, Colorado twice, the White Sox. He did pitch in Coors Field and did fine in that one, but I still think he's kind of getting in better form here. Against Milwaukee, even though they are a pretty good offense, he's been pretty good against them. In 55 career bats, 24 strikeouts. It's a huge strikeout rate. 7 walks. I know it's kind of a high walk rate, but still not that bad. 164 batting average allowed and 458 OPS. So they're only 9 for 55 off him lifetime. So he does do well against Milwaukee. So we will go under in that game in Brewers Padres. Under 7.5. There you go, Jordan. Hopefully we win. You're coming for me. That's what she said. No, man, no, don't do it. Dude, we've won. We're on a nice roll right now. We've won 5 of the last 6 days. I'm actually tracking everything. I'm getting close to being back to a break-even point this year. And really, this year, the only reason I'm down is because college basketball absolutely wrecked me in February and March, especially March. And I just don't know why, man. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, we're on a nice run right now. I mean, NFL was good over the weekend. Baseball's been better recently, too. Next up, another under, and this one looks too obvious. Sometimes I say that, but I feel like when I say that, it hits more often than it doesn't. This is Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. The total's still at 7, I think, out there. It's with juice. I wouldn't want to take this at 6.5, as I keep saying. It does look like it's getting to be some heavy juice on the under, though. It flipped from 7 juice to the over to 7 juice to the under. If you can't get 7, I would probably even go upwards of minus 120 on the 7, maybe even the minus 125. I would not want to go under 6.5, though, because 7 is just a key number, man. As I keep saying, it breaks the 3-3 tie, but this looks like it's going to be a big-time pitching duel. 79% of tickets, only 76% of cash on the under, but I'm not sure if I buy that. Public seems to be on to it, knowing, especially because it's Paul Skeens, knowing that it's an under, even though I don't think they really realize that Hunter Green is really good. I think he still flies under the radar, but I really like the starting pitching matchup, man. I know it's in Cincinnati, which is a hitter-friendly ballpark, but Pittsburgh also has the worst offense in baseball. Cincinnati's is mediocre. The bullpens I know are not that good, but they're actually not as bad as you would think. The bullpens have actually been better for these two teams recently. Pittsburgh's is actually 13th in Major League Baseball now, and Cincinnati's is 15th in bullpen ERA. They're both below 4, so that's not bad. And then, of course, the starting pitching. Paul Skeens is pitching. I mean, he's elite. We know this. 2.03 ERA, 0.96 whip. A little bit worse on the road, but 2.29 ERA. I mean, obviously, it's still good. He wasn't good last time out. It was one of his worst starts of the season. He threw 92 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. Just ridiculous. Gave up 3 earned runs to the Cubs. The Cubs can hit, though, even though they haven't been that good offensively recently. But still, even with that start, he still has a 1.84 ERA in this month, 22-4 strikeout walk ratio, including shutting out the Dodgers for 6 innings. He's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 5 of his last 6 starts, all but that most recent start. So, I mean, he's Paul Skeens. He's still in form. I mean, the one worry about him is he wearing down at all? Because he's thrown more innings this year than he ever has before, obviously. 181, but he still seems to be, I mean, his strikeout rate is still really high. He's still even at 6 in that game against the Cubs. So it doesn't seem to me like he's wearing down. And his numbers against the Reds are good. And 63 at-bats. Just a ridiculous 27-1 strikeout walk ratio against them. 222 batting average allowed, 536 OPS. So he's been good against the Reds. I mean, no surprise, really. Going up against Hunter Green, who he's Cincinnati's best pitcher, man. I think there's no doubt about that. I don't think he's had any vomiting spells on the mound this year either, so he's been pretty good. He was injured for a little while, but 2.74 ERA, 0.92 whip, and the fact that he was injured means that he's thrown fewer innings so far, so he's not wearing down yet. He's still 50 innings shy of what he threw last year, and he had a really good season last year, so he's not going to be wearing down yet. He's been really good at home, even though it's a hitter-friendly park. 1.44 ERA at home. I know he's coming off a complete game 1 hitter against the Cubs, so that's the one concern about this is a lot of times when a guy does that, it gives him a hangover effect in the next game. I know he threw 109 pitches, which is more than he's thrown Not more than he's thrown all season, though. It's more than he's thrown in most starts. He did throw 114 pitches in a start on May 2nd against the Nats, and he had a shortened start for some reason. He was shutting out Atlanta through 3 innings in the next start, but I don't know if he got pulled because of an injury or what, but he wasn't pitching poorly in that next start. So he also went over 100 pitches against San Francisco in April, and he followed that up with another shutout against Pittsburgh. By the way, 7-inning shutout against Pittsburgh in this exact stadium. So I still think he will do well in this game, even though I know a complete game 1 hitter is a different animal, though. In a huge game that they needed, I gave out a play on that. That was a game I gave out the Reds in that game. And Colin Ray pitched way better than I thought he would against us in that game, but Hunter Green still outpitched him. He was excellent in that game, but Green is still pitching really well, man. He's given up 1 or fewer earned runs in 3 of the 4 starts this month. The only bad start was against the A's on the road, and you know that's a difficult park to pitch in. His good starts were all at home against Toronto, the Mets, and the Cubs. So if he could do that against those teams, you got to think he can hold Pittsburgh down. 2.55 ERA, 31-8 strikeout walk ratio this month. Again, the only concern is he going to be in a letdown spot after that 1 hitter against the Cubs, who are, you know, one of their divisional rivals. It's a huge game, and it was a game that kept them in the wild card race. But he still needs to come out and focus here and pitch well, because the Reds have motivation here, man. I mean, they need to win to stay in the wild card race. And, of course, Pittsburgh doesn't really have any motivation here other than the fact that they could spoil Cincinnati's season here. The Reds are now 1 game back in the Mets again for the last wild card spot, so they're still right there. Green and 69 at-bats against Pittsburgh, 22-10 strikeout walk ratio. It is too many walks, but he's held them way down pretty much otherwise. 203 batting average allowed, 666 OPS, so he's evil as well. So we are going under in that one. Hopefully the 7 is still out there at a decent price, because, again, 6.5, I would just pass on it. Cincinnati, but of course, if I lose on the game, I'd wish that I'd passed on the 6.5 rather than going with the 7 and giving it out as a play. So, double-edged sword maybe. The money's coming in on Pittsburgh in this game, by the way, on the side. Cincinnati's up from -110 to -112. Kind of surprising that Skeens is not getting more of the public play here. 66% of tickets are on Cincinnati, but it's because Cincinnati has the better record. People probably see at this point that Green at least has a good ERA, and they know Cincinnati's in the wild card race, so that's factoring into it too. 66% of tickets, only 53% of the cash on Cincinnati, so the money's coming in against them, but I'm not worried about the side in that one. The side that I am going to give out is the Mets. They're in the wild card race as well. We're going to go with the Mets plus 105 here. We're fading a very public Cubs team. And I know on the surface, it's like, what the hell are you doing? It looks like the Cubs have a big starting pitching edge, but I don't think they actually do in this game, which I'll show you in a minute, because that's obviously the crux of this handicap. 85% of tickets, only 80% of the cash on the Cubs. So the Cubs are public, and the line is moving against them, down from -120 to -115. The Cubs really don't have a whole lot to play for, and they've been playing like it. The Cubs have lost a bunch of games in a row. This is the ESPN night game, by the way, so you get to have some action on it and watch it if you want to. The Cubs have lost 5 games in a row. They blew like a 5-1 lead yesterday, I think, blowing it to the Mets. But the Cubs, again, they don't really have a whole lot to play for. They're not going to catch Milwaukee in the NL Central. The Cubs have a pretty sizable lead in the wild card race, too, so I don't think they're going to fall out of the first wild card spot. So they've been playing like a pretty unmotivated team right now, getting ready for the playoffs. Whereas the Mets, of course, are going to be one of the most motivated teams, and you're getting them as an underdog here. So that's a big part of this handicap, is the motivation. You're getting the motivated team as an underdog. You got to at least consider looking that way. The Mets are, of course, in the wild card hunt here. They're trying to get the last wild card spot, because otherwise they're not even going to make the playoffs. The bullpens, the Cubs have the slightly better bullpen, although I don't think it's hugely significant. They're 12th in bullpen area. The Mets are actually 14th, so that's not too bad for this handicap here. Mets used a lot of relief pitchers yesterday, so kind of concerning, but so do the Cubs. So I think the bullpens still kind of work out. So I think we can still go full game on this. If you want to go first 5, you could do that too, but because the motivation is also part of the handicap, we're going full game on this one. Jonah Tong is pitching for New York, and I know his numbers are bad. 5.94 ERA, 1.44 whip. Yeah, I know, not good, but he's a really talented young pitcher, man. I mean, I've talked about him on the show before. I believe I went with either him or the under twice so far, and I think I'm 0-1-1 in those games, though. Because I think one of them, was this first game that he pitched where he did well, and the fielding failed behind him against Miami. It was just a complete implosion by him, and I think Yuri Perez maybe on the other side. And then I believe I went with an under in the Cincinnati game, and it pushed. So I know I haven't done well in Tong's games so far, but he's a young, talented pitcher, man. This is his rookie season. He does throw pretty hard, even though he has, not a huge frame. He's not a huge pitcher. He has a violent windup, though, kind of like Tim Lincecum is the comparison he keeps getting, which is pretty accurate. But if you look at what he's done so far, he had one really bad start against Texas. It was just inexplicable, and I know it was at home in this stadium, but 3 of his 4 starts have been in the stadium, so I won't take a whole lot away from that. It was an awful start, though. He had 3 walks, 4 hits allowed, 6 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. 1 strikeout, but the rest of his starts, he's given up 4 or fewer earned runs, gone at least 5 innings in all of them, given up 1 or fewer earned runs in 2 of them, so that starts looking not as bad, and he is going to face the Cubs here, and the Cubs have never seen him before, so I know, of course, that was the case in these other outings, too, where these teams had never seen him before, but it tends to be an advantage to the pitcher more often than not with a young, talented pitcher going up against an offense that's never seen him before. As I always say, the offense struggles a little bit to try to figure him out the first couple times. And the Cubs offense actually has kind of struggled a little bit as of late. They've dropped to 9th, at least, overall OPS. The Mets are actually ahead of them at 6th in OPS. The Mets have the better offense out of the two. So that's something to consider as well. As far as Tong, by the way, at home, just looking at his splits real quick, he actually has been slightly better. 5.91 ERA. I know it's still bad, but I think he's on the road here. My mistake. He has a 6 road ERA. My mistake, but still, it's not a huge difference. But I think he does have the ability to pitch well in this one. He's going up against Matthew Boyd. And I know his numbers are good on the season, so it's like, what are you doing, Toad? Like, how can you fade the guy who's obviously the better of these 2 pitchers? Boyd, 3.2 ERA, 1.11 whip for the Cubs. I get it. He's good. He's good at home. 2.45 home ERA. But he's really looking like he's starting to wear down, man. I've been talking about this with Boyd. He kind of came from a little bit out of nowhere. Like, last season was kind of a ridiculous outlier where he only made 8 starts for Cleveland, and he had really good numbers. But if you look at like his overall career stats, they've never really been quite as good as this. And he's never, he hasn't thrown more than the innings that he's pitched this season, 174 and a third. He hasn't reached that since 2019. So it's been like 6 years basically since he's thrown this many innings. And that was the only time he did that in his career, which was with Detroit. And it was a decent season for him, but you got to worry that he's wearing down here, man, and it's showing in his numbers because he had a 4.54 ERA last month. I know the 32-8 strikeout walk ratio is still pretty good. This month, 6 ERA in 3 starts, and he wasn't facing great offenses either. Washington, Tampa, Pittsburgh, so that's not a good sign. 9-4 strikeout walk ratio this month. That's not good. He's allowed 4 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts in 3 of the last 4. Only made it 3 innings last outing against Pittsburgh. So, yeah, he's not in good form. He is a concern. And against the Mets, he does not do well. It's 64 at-bats, 13-5 strikeout walk ratio, 312 batting average allowed, 4 home runs allowed, 2 of them to Lindor, who really wrecks him. So something to keep in mind, a lot of this damage is Lindor, but still. 312 batting average allowed, 940 OPS. I think Boyd is absolutely fadeable in this game, so we will do that and go with the underdog Mets here. It looks like the wind is blowing in, by the way, in this game because we see the total is just getting tons of money on the over. I mean, the public sees Mets, Cubs, they go over immediately. 94% of tickets on the over, only 92% of the cash on the over, with the total just sitting at a very low 7, which in Wrigley Field, that means the wind is blowing in, most likely. So it's going to keep the offenses in check, but I like that. I don't disagree with the under in this game. I wouldn't really want to include bullpens that are a little bit worn down, though, but I would say that it helps our underdog play here because if the game is expected to be a low total, that means there's more value in playing the underdog because it means it's going to be a closer game for the most part. Like, it's going to be harder for the favorite to separate themselves in the game, so we will go with that. Plus 105. That's the money line. That's the money line on the full game. I don't know what you're talking about with plus 170. What are you doing, man? Jordan, figure it out, man. The money line on the Mets full game, plus 105 or something in that ballpark. I don't know what the hell the plus 170 is. Yeah, I can't even figure out what the plus 170 would be, to be honest. Don't know what you're looking at. You got to should be pretty easy on DraftKings. They show like the run line and the money line right next to each other. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's a straight up money line on the game. And finally, hopefully our dude here, Ranger, Carey, hopefully you're still in here, man, because here's Dodgers, Arizona. I know this is not an exciting way to play this game, but we're going to go under in the first 5 innings in this game between the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. And, of course, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, I mean, these teams both can hit. We know this. You're looking at the second best offense in baseball against the 4th best offense, OPS-wise. Dodgers, number 2. Diamondbacks, number 4. It's a hitter-friendly ballpark. So, like, what am I doing here, right? Well, you know I like starting pitching, and I think this is a starting pitching matchup that's going to get us a low-scoring game in the early parts of this game. It looks like the money's coming in on the under. We have 58% of tickets on the over, which surprises me it's not more than that, to be honest, because the public is going to see these two teams, to me, and think, like, this is an automatic over almost. Although I guess they know both of these pitchers are good, so maybe that's kind of why it's not that's why it's like tempered a little bit, I guess. But 84% of the cash on the under. So the money's coming in the under. Really, I think the only market read that's a little bit in disagreement with us is the Pittsburgh Cincinnati one, but the total did flip on the key number on that one. So we're agreeing with the market on almost all 4 of the games, basically, and, except for the just the cash percentage being off on that Pittsburgh Reds game here. But back to this game. As far as the side, by the way, the Dodgers are down from minus 150 to minus 145 as a road favorite. 81% of tickets, only 51% of the cash. So money coming in on Arizona. I don't necessarily disagree with it. Arizona won the game yesterday. I think it's just about motivation, man. I mean, the Dodgers, yeah, they still should be motivated because San Diego's pretty close to them in the division. So that is a motivating factor for the Dodgers here. But Arizona, they're fighting for the last wild card spot. I think they're only 1 game back of the wild card there. I think they're tied with the Reds, 1 game back of the Mets. So D-backs, even though they sold off at the trade deadline, they're right there, man. It's just crazy to think about. We're going first 5 innings here, by the way, because the bullpens suck, if that wasn't obvious. Arizona's is especially bad, but the Dodgers isn't that good either. They're fairly well-rested bullpens, so, I mean, if you wanted to try to take the shot full game, I wouldn't really disagree with it, but I think first 5, we're kind of isolating what we really like here, which is the starting pitching matchup. Blake Snell is pitching for the Dodgers. He's a good pitcher, man. I mean, he's back in form. He's bouncing back from injury pretty nicely here. I think he actually might have had Tommy John because everybody does now. But he's starting to look like his old self. He's still not really old yet at 32. 2.44 ERA, 1.28 whip. The whip needs to be a little bit better. He's walked too many guys, but still overall he's been good. I know his road ERA is bad. 5.29. I know that's concerning. He's way better at home. But look at what he's done this month, man. 2.5 ERA. 29-7 strikeout walk ratio. I know he allowed 5 earned runs on the road at Pittsburgh. You could worry about that a little bit, but last 2 outings, 2 shutouts for 6 and 7 innings apiece against Colorado. I know they suck. And Philly, and he had double-digit strikeouts in both of them. So he looks like he's really back in form right now after that, man. And if you take out that Pittsburgh game, he allowed 3 or fewer earned runs in every other start that he's made this entire season, which has been a shortened season because he came back from injury. So he's not wearing down yet or anything like that. Good sign for the Dodgers if they have Snell and Glasnow both healthy for the playoffs. That's what they need, man, because they're both going to be a huge part of that starting pitching rotation. And that could definitely be a ridiculous 1-2 punch that helps them make a nice playoff run. And the people might start overlooking the Dodgers when it gets to the playoffs, especially if they wind up being a wild card, just because they've underperformed on the season. But these pitchers were injured for a lot of it. Snell, he has pretty good numbers against the D-backs, which is part of the reason I'm doing this. In 92 career at-bats, 30-11 strikeout walk ratio isn't great. I know Snell walks too many guys, but 217 batting average allowed, 725 OPS. He's done pretty well against the Diamondbacks, so I think we can go with him, and he's in the best form that he has been over the last 2 starts. Yeah, I mean, maybe you worry a little bit about him on the road, which, by the way, another thing indicating on Arizona is that Snell isn't good on the road, although it's a smaller sample size, and he's going up against Ryan Nelson, who is good at home. So the home road splits favor Ryan Nelson. Nelson for the D-backs, 3.34 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. Good season for him. He's been good at home, like I said, 2.58 ERA, even though I think his numbers are inexplicable this season. And I keep pointing out the little, the little pine tar thing there that it looked like he might have had going on there. But he's been good. He's allowed 3 or fewer earned runs in his last 6 starts in a row. The run support hasn't exactly been there for him. 2.35 ERA this month. That's good, obviously. The strikeout walk ratio hasn't been good, though. 15-9, so the strikeout rate went a little bit down. The walk rate went a little bit up, but he's still pitching pretty effectively overall. He had starts against Boston and Philly mixed in there at home and didn't allow more than 2 earned runs in either of those starts. I know the walk rate was high, but still, he's pitching well overall, and he does surprisingly well against the Dodgers, as good of an offense as they are. 80 at bats, 13-9 strikeout walk ratio. I know is not good, but he's held them to a 200 batting average and 568 OPS. So we will roll with this starting pitching matchup. I do like this one. It looks like we're going with the market read on that one. So that's going to be an under in the first 5 innings. Most of the numbers I saw out there were 4.5, though, because the books try to screw you, dude. Like I saw this the other day in that first 5 inning under where I gave out whatever it was, an under 4. Even money somewhere. There was only one book that had it. So this is why you need multiple outs, man, because the rest of the books, they're all like, no, screw you. We're going to go 4.5 and make you lay like minus 130 on it or minus 135. It's like, no, screw you. Screw you. Odds makers. I know the odds makers are trying to prevent you from winning money, but it's just crazy, man. So I found this, I think this one was actually at DraftKings. It might have been at FanDuel. I forget which one. It was at one of the big guys. I saw this morning. So you could do that. If you see an under 4.5 for whatever reason at like minus 120, which I doubt, I would do that as well. But I would find the under 4 somewhere. Hopefully, some of the books must let you have, like they have the slider thing on DraftKings or whatever. They must let you have alternate lines on the total in some of these books, right? So that's probably what I do. I know the recreational bettors are not making a play like this. They're not looking at first 5 unders, especially in a game like this. So that's really only going to be, but that's probably why they don't offer it, because they know that's probably only a play that professionals are going to make. But it is still out there somewhere. Okay, sir. Plus 102. Yeah, I mean, that's still fine. I mean, it's really close to plus 105. Moneyline underdog price. That's basically what you want on the Mets there. Just don't come kill me, please. Yes, you're learning. Hell yeah, I like to teach people, man. Hopefully I'm good at it. I don't think I'm good at teaching, though. Under minus 130 at 4.5. It's up to your discretion, man. It's a little bit to pay for that, but I like it in general. But so you only have one book, DraftKings. If you have other books available in your state, I don't know what state you're in, I would open an account and maybe see what they have for those. All right, man. Yes, sir. Well, thanks for hanging out, man. You already did it for $15. Oh, all right. You're not going to win that much on it then. If it wins, it'll be a very small win, because if you put $15 on it, you're probably only going to win like, what is it, $12, like $13 or something like that. DraftKings, you won good on the Super Bowl. Did you follow me on the Super Bowl? I had a huge Super Bowl this year. It was all props. I went 4-0 in the Super Bowl, I think. All props. They all hit, including the tush push one hit as well. The length of shortest touchdown under 1. Or whatever, or under 1.5. I mean, yards. That was I liked that one with the tush push possibility. It happened so early in the game too. The only one that got dicey was Xavier Worthy over receptions, and they used him so much late in the game that it worked out anyway. Grooming, yeah, I manscape. You're right. That's gonna do it for me, man. So once again, the plays today: Brewers, Padres under the 8 or 7.5 in that one. Under the 7, if you could still get it at a decent price, in Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Mets money line, and first 5 under Dodgers, Arizona. Hopefully you can find a 4 out there, because it's a cheaper price to do it that way. Have a good day to you as well, man. Little brother looks at football. He's good at football. Oh, all right. Oh, you weren't watching my show? Oh, man. Well, that kind of sucks. I did okay in the NFL. I usually do okay in the NFL. It's not like a huge moneymaker because the lines are so tight, but I'm up in the NFL over the course of time that I've been doing it. So not my best sport, though. My best is NBA. NBA is about to start. I crushed the NBA for whatever reason. Baseball has been my second best, but it hasn't been that good this year. So NHL, I think, has kind of overtaken that a little bit. Have a good day, everybody. Learn to Toad on Twitter, Learn to Toad on Instagram. Bettor Off Dead. Like and subscribe to the channel here, man. Let's get this thing monetized on YouTube. We'll do, we've covered, or excuse me, we do have Bettor Off Dead on the audio as well, Spotify, Apple. You can give me a review there. That helps me out. Covered in Uke is my Uke channel on YouTube, so check that out as well. I want to do some like late night Uke request hours at some point. We'll see what I want to do with that. Maybe potentially even tonight. I don't know. Maybe I should consider it. And then patreon.com/learn-to-toad, and there's bonus Uke content there. Niners, I don't know about that, man. They're off to a 3-0 start. And I said they would go over their win total, so they're looking good to reach that, but they have so many injuries right now. Brock Purdy is still injured. Kittle, I don't know if he's back. They should both be back, though, but they just lost Bosa. I don't know how much it's going to affect their defense. I think they have some offensive line injuries. That is an injured team right now, man. So it's a little bit difficult, but they are off to the 3-0 start. So we will see with them with the Niners, man. I'm not as bullish on the Niners right now due to all those injuries, even though I'm not really a Purdy fan, though. The Uke is covered in Uke. That's on YouTube as well. It's like covered in puke because in the old day when I started, I was drunk when I did those covers. So Purdy is back. Well, we'll talk about that on my show. That's true. That was part of my handicap. The Niners have the easiest schedule in the entire NFL because that's what you want for like an over with the win totals. You want a team that's like really competitive that looked bad the year before that because of all the injuries, and because they had a bad year the year before that, they get an easy schedule. So it's like it's a perfect storm, man. So yeah, we'll see if that happens. If Purdy is back, though, I kind of like a fade of the 49ers this week because it's the reverse injured player theory, man. We'll talk about it when I get to my NFL show. I already have, I think, at least one NFL play and one college play that I like. I haven't really done all the handicapping yet. That'll start today where I'll get some more ideas watching some of the professionals that I watch. That's going to do it for today, man. That's right. I'll see you later tomorrow morning. I will talk about football being back tomorrow. And yeah, I am excited about NBA and NHL starting as well. So we will we'll see that. That'll be good when those start. So peace out for now. Have a good day, everybody. Peace.